In part one of Women Seeking a God Fearing Man, I was talking to the brothers man to man, and I'm just going to pick up where I left off. I am going to make another reference back to the story of Adam and Eve to try to bring that story forward to modern day times. But fellas, I have to say that we are in a unique situation now. In case you haven't been paying attention, men, we have been reduced. We have been downgraded from Father knows best to Father knows nothing. This has happened over the past 50 years or so. It's been an all-out assault and attack on not only masculinity, but fatherhood specifically. But I do have some good news for you, brothers. If you could just be patient with me. You know, we were losing ground quite rapidly, and the results are that our women, God bless them, but they have proven that, let's say she can out earn you and me in the workplace. She can outlearn you and me in academia. This is not a secret that there are unlimited documents that would prove what I just said, from college degrees going forward to earning potential going forward. But what does this mean, or what has this reduced you to, brothers? Since she can out earn you and outlearn you, she really is running out of reasons. She's running out of good excuses to admire you. So now you're sitting in the spa, getting your hands and feet manicured and pedicured, brother. Oh, I know what you're saying. You're saying that it's hygiene and it's this, that, and the other. But really, you really want to just say, because we all know that women admire a man with pretty hands and feet. Then you have to learn how to cook now, brother. Yeah, so you can have a hot meal ready for her when she gets home from work. Since you're not working, you are now a full-blown stay-at-home husband. I'm not saying it's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying this is where this thing has taken us. She's running out of reasons to admire you, and we know that fundamentally, the thing that sustains a healthy relationship between a man and a woman is when you see her admiration for you in her eyes. But she's running out of reasons to admire you because she is finding herself saying or thinking or believing, I don't need a man to do anything for me. Sister, when you say that you don't need a man to do anything for you, then you're also saying that a man doesn't have to do anything to get to you. Let me move on. Brothers, a woman will always admire a man who behaves as though his instructions come from on high. And that's why I said in this title, Women Seeking a God-Fearing Man, because a woman, it is in her nature to admire or fall in love with a man who walks closely with his Creator. And that's why sister flocks to the church on Sundays. That's why she'll listen to pastor before listening to you. But there's another component to restoring admiration that I have to share with you, brothers. When you put yourself in the position, the only position that is reserved for you, the position of being a father to be admired to your own children, you will regain admiration from your woman and or your wife. She will admire you because of your relationship with your own seed. You see, this was reserved for you only, even though out here in society today, there are people who will try to take that position away from you. It was reserved for you. Why? Because you carried your seed before she did. Man to man. Brothers, I got to translate the story of Adam and Eve so that we can finish this topic. Your situation today is not much different than was the story of Adam and Eve. And I'm not going religion. I'm not talking about God. I'm talking about in the story in the garden is pretty cut and dry, not to take it out of context, but Eve, for whatever reason, the term was used beguiled, but beguiled does not necessarily mean tricked, brother. It means she was charmed. She was seduced. You know, women like to be wooed. And so she was made to believe that she was a little more important than what she was created to be, and that she was missing out on something. So she had to downgrade Adam's position in order to even be over in the midst of the garden, partaking of the tree of the knowledge of the good and evil. And then she gave the forbidden fruit to Adam, and according to the story, he partook of it as well. But she couldn't have reduced him. She could not have downgraded him until Adam first had to shift his focus from the instructions he received from on high and start listening to Eve instead, which of course he became ashamed of himself. Yes, sister, if you haven't figured it out yet, what has gotten you off base these days is that you actually believe that a man can't really do anything for you. The moment you started believing that, sister, back to you, you begin to struggle. You begin to struggle unnecessarily because just like what Eve did in the garden wasn't smart, for you to believe that is not smart either. And if you were as smart as you think you are, or as smart as you ought to be, then you would struggle less. You would work smarter, not harder. This is where I'm going with this, sister. Just bear with me. Let me put it in the form of a question. Is it a good idea? Is it smart to bear a man's child or children if he's not going to even claim them? Is it smart to give a man the key not only to your heart, but the key to everything else if he's going to take advantage of your love for him? This is not smart. You know, when you talk about what's smart and what's not smart, Eve basically was doing something in the garden that she had no business doing. Going places she had no business going, and talking to people that she had no business talking to. The story of Adam and Eve is really not about religion at all. It's about a woman who did some things that weren't very smart. But in order to get those things accomplished, she had to reduce Adam's position. She had to shrink him. She had to downgrade him. She needed him to be weak, a weak man. See, women that are not smart attract weak men. And so when you say that the men in your life are intimidated by your level of intellect, that's because you're not as smart as you think you are. So therefore, you only attract weak men. A strong man, a man who walks closely with his creator, one who receives instructions from on high, cannot and will not spend time with a woman that was not made for him. So I say to you, sister, you're going to have to get to the point. If you're smart, you're going to have to start practicing saying, no, I don't do all of that with any man that is not my husband. You're going to have to start practicing saying, that I don't even get that emotionally invested in a man that is not my husband. Sister, I need you to say, it's not until I become your wife will we even take this friendship to a whole nother level. And if you really want to hit a home run with him, say, you won't even know what you are missing out on until I become your wife. Now, this is not an ultimatum, and you're not begging him to marry you. What you have established, sister, you have established a set of standards. You have established boundaries, much needed boundaries, and you are now projecting class and dignity, morals and values. You see, you can't even gain complete or full access to a website without at least a membership. So why then should a man be able to gain full access to you? For nothing. It starts with knowledge of self. It continues with love for self, not a vanity type of love to where you just look so good on the outside that you have to take pictures of yourself. Not that kind of love, but a love that is built in. It is in your nature, and when it is honest, it is genuine. When you project it, then that God-fearing man recognizes that that quality that is in you, and he realizes that it is you that was made for him. And the reason why you would be able to recognize him as your husband is because you will see his beauty as well. A God-fearing man, sister, is a beautiful creature. He's a beautiful soul, a beautiful spirit, and he was made to love you properly. He can do you no harm. He can bring no harm unto you. Look, I am not the authority. I am not the authority. I've heard the rumblings on relationships, but I tell you what, I have lived 50 years, and it doesn't matter how much you think you know. If you have not mastered at least one subject, and that subject being you, if you're over 40, if you're over 50, what subject or subjects have you mastered? If you have mastered a subject, please share with the rest of us so that we can all benefit. Because I'm only here to help. I want for you guys what I want for myself. I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to live a life of longevity and one of fulfillment. But above all these things combined, I wish upon you many, many blessings. As always, I'm looking forward to your response and or challenges. I am up for the challenge. My name is Jay Jackson.